It's race day! We've got some of our older Thomas and Friends Trackmasters.
A close shave for Duck, Caitlyn, Dan, Molly, Porter, Paint Splattered Thomas,
He looks happy to be here.
Conor, Victor comes to Sodor, Chocolate Covered Percy, Ferdinand,
That's right.
Steamies, Green Salty, Belle, Flora, Paxton, and Hank.
Big ol' Hank. First up, we've got a close shave for Duck going up against Caitlyn. She is really streamlined. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and look at this. Oh my goodness, Caitlyn just going right in front of Duck, and she's going over the small hill over the Sodor Carnival and past Lower Tin, and she's got that outside track coming around. She will be on the outside track. Duck well behind her, has the inside track advantage, but that is not going to help it. She is crashing Ellsbridge, and we'll go back over the tiny hill. It is all Caitlyn. Look at this, folks, and she has won. Brand new batteries in every single one of these old style Trackmasters, but close shave for Duck, not very close at all. Next up, we have Big Ol' Hank, one of the very first American engines on the island of Sodor, and Steamies, number 55. This guy's always popular on this channel. On your tracks, get set, go! Off it goes. Steamies just goes a little bit farther than Hank. Hank being pushed by his tender in the background, and we are following Steamies as he crosses Ellsbridge. Let's see when they get into the turns. They're very evenly matched. Oh no, Steamies has the outside track, giving Hank a slight advantage coming out of the turns, giving Steamies way back in the distance. And it is Big Ol' Hank going over the tiny hill, and he is coming down the lane past the engines, and Hank has won. Two really evenly matched engines. Big Ol' Hank has won though. Sorry, Steamies, you're eliminated. Next up, it is Day of the Diesels. Let's get Paxton and put him up against Den, all the way to the Diesel Works. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go. Wow, I thought Den was going to do very good, but look at this. Here's Paxton going past Sodor Carnival, and he is really on the way. Den far behind, but it looks like Paxton now has the outside track coming into the turns, and he will pass Den, but I think coming out of the turns, he'll still be slightly ahead. And he is. Den off in the distance has caught up. He had that inside track advantage, but look at this. It is all Paxton coming over this tiny hill. And coming down the lane, it is Paxton by more than a length, and Paxton has won. Well, Den might run the Diesel Works, but it looks like Paxton had some engine work done because he's eliminated Den. Here we go now with the ladies of Sodor. We've got Flora of the Sodor Tramworks going up against Belle, the firefighting engine. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and here we come down the line. Flora a little bit behind Belle. Look at Belle coming down. This big, beautiful firefighting engine, very strong, going past Lower Timothy. She does have the inside track advantage, and she is coming around. Flora doing her absolute best with that Tramworks car of hers, but it is no match for Belle, the firefighting engine. You say, hey, where's the fire? Well, Belle's going to go put it out, folks. Flora, beautiful, doing the best she can, has been eliminated. Congratulations, Belle. Let's have a classic battle of Steamies versus Diesels. Here we have Paint Covered Thomas, looking a little bit angry that he's here, up against Green Salty. Hey, both these guys need new paint jobs, don't you think?
Yeah.
On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, these two paint just mismatched engines. Looks like Paint Covered Thomas in the forefront, looking right at us. Green Salty off in the distance, but it's definitely Thomas at this point, ahead by half a length, and he has the inside track. That's going to be a great advantage. Salty coming out. These engines are very loud and proud, but look at this. Paint Splattered Thomas with all that yellow and red paint is coming over the small hill, and he is well ahead of Green Salty, and Thomas has won. Well, I think all of them have to go to the Sodor Paint Factory, but Thomas, you're not going to go there yet because you've eliminated Salty. You have to race some more. Next up, two big tender engines. We've got Molly. She is big and strong, going up against Ferdinand all the way from Misty Island. That's right. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and look at this. Oh, wow, is his wheels on? We're going to have to just quickly fix Ferdinand. Good job, but I think that is Molly right ahead, and she is coming down the line as fast as she can past Lower Tip, and she's really going, actually. Those big tires of hers are spinning. She's being pushed by her tender. She had the inside track advantage, And Ferdinand is way off in the distance. Look at those big wheels turn, folks, and it is Molly all the way coming down the line, and she has won. Ferdinand is an absolutely beautiful engine. I really like the way that they worked him out. Even changing his battery is kind of unique, and he's got that wood tender, but he has been eliminated. It's all Molly from here on out. Next up, we've got Porter from all the way from down the docks, and we've got chocolate covered Percy still covering his chocolate. One of these will win. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and wow, look at this. Porter well ahead of chocolate covered Percy. That chocolate must have gotten his gears, folks, but look at this. There's Porter all the way coming down the line, and he is well ahead. He's got that outside track, which gives Percy a slight advantage, but I don't think he can capitalize on it. My goodness, Porter's coming down. Look at him just chopping all the way down, folks. Past the winner's circle, and he is over the small hill, well ahead of chocolate-covered Percy. He's won. Chocolate-covered Percy must have chocolate in his gears or something. That syrup got all over him. It is Porter all the way, folks. And in the final race of the first round, we've got two more engines. We've got mighty Conor, all that detail. He's a big, beautiful, streamlined engine up against talking Victor comes to Sodor, being pushed by his tender. He's still got seaweed on him. I don't know how well he'll do after that. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and look at this. These two engines are coming down, and it looks like Victor is slightly ahead of Conor in the distance. Maybe they're nose to nose, I don't know, but it looks like, oh no, Victor's got that outside track, and here comes Conor. He's got the inside advantage, and he is chopping as fast and as hard as he can. Look at those pistons pumping, folks, and it's Conor all the way. Victor in the background putting on his best effort, but he's no match for Conor. I really like Victor comes to Sodor. You know, he's got all that seaweed on him from being thrown into the ocean, and this one's a talking version. But Conor, we'll see more of him as he goes on to the next round. And here we are in the second round. We've got 8 engines, including Conor, Paxton, Caitlyn, Hank, Molly, Belle, Porter, and Paint Covered Thomas. I wonder which one is gonna win. First up, let's have Paxton, the Mighty Diesel, up against Streamline Caitlyn. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and look at this, it is Caitlyn, and she is well ahead at this point. Coming down, wow, Caitlyn's really fast. She might be our big winner out of all this. Oh, and she even has the inside track coming in. It is Paxton coming out, but look at this, Caitlyn coming down Lower Timoth, and she will cross the Sodor Carnival Ferris wheel over that small hill, and she is coming out as pistons pumping, and Caitlyn has won. These old style Trackmasters, they had a lot of detail. A lot of them really did. Paxton is very, very detailed. He looks great, but Caitlyn, we're going to see more of her in the future. She's going on to the Final Four. Well, Caitlyn did really well, but let's see how her partner Conor does, especially up against the big American Hank. He's driven by his tender, folks, but he is big and strong. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and Hank has to go a little bit ahead because that tender is driving him off the distance. So, oh wow, are those back wheels off? Oh no, maybe they got back on. Oh wow, he's really pumped. Liam trying to help. Conor's being pushed by the tender. He's got brand new batteries. It's very hard for him to be in there. But look at Conor. Conor is well ahead of Hank at this point. He is over the hills and far away. Those new batteries did Hank no favors because Conor has won. In some of these old engines, it was the tender with the batteries in them that actually did the pushing. And that's what happened with big old Hank here. There's a lot of detail with Hank, and he's a great looking engine, but he's no match for Conor. Conor will go on to the Final Four. Next up, another battle of the ladies of Sodor. We've got Mighty Molly going up against Belle from the Sodor Search and Rescue Center. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and Belle doing very good, like catching up really quickly on Mighty Molly. Molly coming down. She's another one of these engines that are being pushed by her tender. And it looks like she has the inside track advantage, but Belle was slightly ahead, and they're going to come out of the turns. It looks like Molly now slightly ahead. Belle fighting very, very hard. She's offered on her way to a fire, but look at this. It is Molly over the small hill, and Belle is caught up. It's going to be very close, but in the end, it looks like it is Molly. Belle was always one of our favorite engines. She has these swivel cannons on top of her, and she has that beautiful crest. I've always loved that crest. Lots of detail in these old Trackmaster engines, but this time it is Molly, Mighty Molly with those big wheels, driven by her tender in the back. She is going on to the next round. Final battle of the second round, we've got Porter. Hey Porter, up against Paint Splattered Thomas. This just looks like a cheesy pizza that they threw on top of him. That's what I've always thought. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go. It looks like Porter got a little bit of a head start, but it doesn't much matter. He is well ahead of Paint Splattered Thomas now, and Porter coming down. pistons pumping, and he will get the outside track. Oh no, that's not good for Porter. We'll see if Thomas can do any better. Paint Splattered Thomas coming down the line, and he is slightly ahead of Porter, but Porter's catching up fast. Porter, I do believe, is the faster of the two engines, and they're both neck and neck, nose to nose, but it looks like Thomas slightly ahead, and Thomas is ahead by a buffer. Porter, another one of these really beautifully detailed engines with those 3 humps. He spreads sand on the tracks down by the dock so the other engines don't split. But it is Paint Splattered Thomas with that cheesy all over him. It looks like cheese. I don't know, it just looks like a... Whatever. Ever since I've had him, I've always thought, wow, that just looks like there's a pizza on top of him. And welcome to the final 4. Mighty Molly, Conor, Caitlyn, and Paint Splattered Thomas. One of these will be the fastest engine today. First up, Molly, the big engine with the big wheels, up against Streamline Conor, another really detailed engine. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, and look at this. It looks like Conor slightly ahead. You have that tender pushing Molly, but nothing compared to Conor. Look at those pistons pumping, folks. He is definitely in the lead. He's coming around. He's got that inside track, and he is well ahead of Mighty Molly with the outside track. She has those big wheels pumping, and she is tender driven, but it is no match. Look how much farther Conor is ahead. He's already at the end of the track, and it's no competition. Conor goes on to the final. Mighty Molly is an absolutely fantastic engine. She should have been used more in the series, in my opinion. She's big and she's strong, but not fast when she's racing Conor. Conor goes on to the final, folks, and he is going to do well, I expect. But who will Conor face? Let's find out, as his partner, Caitlyn, goes up against everyone's favorite engine, Thomas the Tank Engine, this time paint splattered. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go, 2 very evenly matched engines. Look at this. We'll follow Thomas the Tank Engine down, pistons pumping, paint splattered. He's past Ellsbridge, and he will have, oh no, the outside track. That does not bode well. Caitlyn, though, Streamline coming down the track, and now she is passing Thomas way off in the distance. It is all Caitlyn from here on out. She's got that streamlining, folks, and it makes all the difference as Caitlyn has won. Thomas the Tank Engine, very sad apparently that he has lost. He's got all that paint over him. This is one of our favorite Thomases from the old Trackmaster collection. We're really glad to have him. He did very well, but not as well as Streamline Caitlyn, who is going to be going up against Conor. But here we are in the final. These 2 engines, no strangers to each other. Looking at them, it's actually great to see that there's different detail in each one of these engines. Caitlyn looks like a much different engine than Conor when you put these old Trackmasters side by side. One of these will be the fastest engine in today's races, folks. Pick your winner. On your tracks, get set, go! Off they go. Very evenly matched engines. Caitlyn, I believe, slightly ahead. And she's coming down past Elbridge. Pistons pumping, but we're going to get into the turns. They're very, very... Oh, no, she's got the outside track. Conor, here comes Conor, and he is just going as fast as he can. Look at those pistons, folks, and he is well ahead of Caitlyn at this point. And it looks like in the very end, it's going to be Conor. Well, Caitlyn, you look absolutely beautiful. That big spotlight, I really like that on the bottom there. She is a fantastic, well-detailed engine, folks, and she is in second place today, but she is no match for Conor. Conor definitely has some more detail out of these 2 engines. They were made with different molds, but it is Conor. Conor is your day. You are the fastest of our old Trackmaster engines. Congratulations, Conor.